Alright, so now it looks worse. Let me just try something. Nope, don't want that. Am I? Okay. Has to be the camera. Alright, well, I'll have to get a new camera this week and start from there, because I'm not really too sure what the problem is. I want to say it's the camera, but I have no problem. I haven't had problems. I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me why. I'm going to just black it out for a second. Why it doesn't want to focus in. And I don't think it's the color. Just doesn't want to focus in. When I do YouTube videos, it is perfectly fine. But once I hop on here, it goes haywire. So I'm not really too sure why that is. And it seems like it is okay. Is it really blurry, Do? It's really blue. Okay, let's see if I can't fix that. Okay. Well, that didn't work. Is it blue now? It's just really, really, I don't know what it is. Doesn't make sense. Just blurry. Is it really bad? How about here? Because I don't know how to fix it. I tried fixing it. Okay, the color. The color's not bad, right? But it's just blurry. All right, I'll have to redo it. It has to be Facebook because my videos on YouTube are perfectly fine. So I'm not really too sure what it's all about. But I'll get started and then I will, if it gets too bad, I will redo it. But this is what I am making tonight. It's seen during in my photos. It is an explosion box. And I wanted to do something fun and something, I'm just going to tape down this paper, something a little different. So I decided to do an explosion box, and I wanted to continue with using some of my Christmas stamp sets that will be gone when the winter catalog disappears. Um, I should just say hi, welcome everybody. I don't know if you saw in the group, but there is still time to get in on the tag buffet. It's a Zoom class that will be taking place tomorrow at, I believe it's 7:30. All you have to do is look at the flyer, and if you purchase the tag buffet from me, using the host code on the flyer, I will send you a link to the Zoom class. Um, we'll be doing alternates to the tag buffet, so it should be fun. But like I said, I wanted to do something fun and use up some of my stamp sets again. So I decided to make an explosion box. So when you take off the top, you can see that I used the snowflake. I don't want to get the name wrong, so let me just grab it real quick. The Snowflake Splendor DSP. And then I used some of the tags from the Most Wonderful Time medley. And then I used the Snowman Season. And I also used the snowflakes. I don't think the snowflake wishes. So I just incorporated a few different sets and to create the first layer of my explosion. So then when you take off the second lid, I did some more snowmen and put little let it snow signs piled and glued in a piece of white tissue paper so it looks like snow. And then it is one of those EOS, if that's how you say it, lip balms that fits right in the center. Excuse me. So it's just a fun little project. I really did have a good time making it. So let's get started because it is going to take us a little bit of time to get it all together. What I am going to do first, though, the little snowmen on the inside layer, let me just grab them. This one here, I want to just stamp him first and put him aside because I did use, and I don't know if you can tell since it's so blurry, but I did use some glitter. Let's see if I close this, if it changes. I used some glitter on him, and I want that glitter to dry. So when I round the corners, everything is already dried and in place. So let's just do him really quick. I have the snowman from the snowman season, and I am, whoops, just going to stamp him on here, just like that. I'm going to get him ready. I'm just going to grab my light seaside spray, and we're just going to give him some shadow. And I'm doing it in the seaside spray because snow has a little blue tint to it. And I'm just going to grab a little of the light flirty flamingo to give him some redness in his cheeks, and I didn't do that to this one. Hey Julie, how are you? I don't know why. Hey Nan, sorry I cut you off, Nan, but I was trying to see if I can get the video clearer. I guess I just need to get a new camera. I will be doing that because I don't know what happened. It had been playing clear, and now all of a sudden I get a clear photo on YouTube, but here I don't, and I don't know what the problem is. So for his nose, I used dark pumpkin pie and light so saffron. And then I'm just going to use the fine tip glue pen. Just open that up. And all I did was put a little dot. I don't want this has a tendency to really flow out pretty fast. Are you still in here, Julie? I was thinking about doing your constant contact, but I won't be done in time. Okay, so now it's not coming out. Let me see. See if I can't get this unplugged. I like this glue because of the nice, there we go. So all I'm doing is putting a little dab of glue on each of the snowflakes in the sky. And then I'm just running a little bit down on the bottom. Just going to close this up because the tip really clogs. And this one, you see, I already rounded the corners. And then I'm using the glitter from last year's catalog. And I'm just going to put that aside. I just wanted to do that quickly to give that glitter some time to dry. Now, no, I will have the PDF for all my measurements in the group tomorrow, so you won't have to worry about that. So if you don't catch it, don't worry. I will definitely have everything for you tomorrow. So what we're going to do is we are working on this first layer. Now each of these little squares are 3 by 3. And I did that by cutting a piece of cardstock 3 by 9, and I scored it at 3 and 6. And I cut 2 pieces for this and did it the same way. Now I have glitter all over, so everything's going to have a little shimmer or glimmer. And we're just going to attach these two together. Now, no, my glue is running out, and I'm not really too sure where my other container of glue is, so we might have to switch adhesives. So I'm just going to add some glue, and we're putting these crosswise. And these are going to create the sides of the box. And just to make sure that I laid it in the right space, I just want to make sure that everything's level, that these edges, this is the one I put in, that these edges both come up the same. And we're just going to make sure that these are down really well. Okay, then we're going to layer the inside. And I got all my pieces cut here. I actually have everything, believe it or not, in a nice little tub, so nothing gets lost. Now before we start on the inside, the outside of the box has some layers too. You know me and my layers. So we're going to start with the outside. So all I did was turned it over. Now I'm going to put another, this is mint macaron, and we're going to put a layer of that, and then we're going to add a layer, and I changed the paper because I ran out of the polka dots. And this is the classic Christmas 6 by 6 paper. And we're just going to layer this up. Let me just see. I'm going to grab my seal, Stampin' Sealed, and this way. Yeah, it does make it easier to, with it, you know, no cutting, and I mean the box naturally, the corners, when it opens, you don't have corners, but so I think we'll use the sprig side as the sides. So we're just going to layer this. Now the box sides are 3 by 3. So my first layer is 2 and 7/8 by 2 and 7/8. And then the DSP is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I like that 1/8 of an inch. We just have to make sure that you have about the same space around. We're just going to layer these all up. And get them all layered. We'll do one more. Okay, so we'll pull our box back in. Now we're just going to layer this on the outside of our box. And again, that 1/8 of an inch. Making sure it's nice and even. Now for this the pattern really doesn't make too much of a difference. So we don't really have to be too concerned because the sprigs are going in all different directions. So we don't have to be too concerned if we're getting it in the right direction. And then we have one more. Okay, so then we can do the inside. And the inside is just about the same. Let me just grab all my pieces here. I have a layer of the mint macaron. Let me just grab them all here. Okay, let me get them out of the little container. Huh, look at that. Can you believe it? I did not cut them. All right, let me just cut them really quick. Isn't this always the way? I think every single week there is one thing that I always forget to cut. And I went over it 3 times. And I think I know exactly what I did. So give me a second. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, I know why. Okay. That ends that. I didn't mess up. I was just not paying attention. Okay, so for the inside, I have a layer of Whisper White, and then I'm using the Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper. Oh wow, that white is completely different. Can you see that? It's a completely different white. Let me see if I have a different one. Because that white is completely different. Wonder why that is. Can you see that? The white is completely different. Okay. So all I'm going to do is on this layer, I'm going to round the corners. Now I do have the Trio punch from Stampin' Up's Trio. But unfortunately, I really didn't care for the corners. So I always pick up my little corner rounder that I've had forever. And I'm glad everybody can't see my floor, because see all these little corners? That is what is all over the floor tonight. They're all over. And I'm doing the same with the DSP. So we have 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And these are going to be our layer, oops, layers for the inside of the box. I probably should have done this ahead of time so you didn't have to sit here and watch me do the corners instead of putting you through that. Okay, so let's get rid of these little pieces. And we're going to layer these up. All I did was adhere the DSP to the Whisper White. And let me grab my dimensionals. And each of these layers I just put up on some dimensionals. So not only do I have corners all over the floor, I have these little pieces from the dimensionals all over. I have a trail even out my craft room door. They seem to stick to everything, and they're just all over. So as you know now, I did not even pull the vacuum out today. Oh, the corner punch. I don't know if there's one in the Stampin' Up! Catalog or not anymore, do. I would have to check. Because they're great. Sorry, let me just get some of this mess out of here. Okay, so now we got 2 more layers. Let's layer these first. Just want to make sure it's even. And one more. Okay, so now we have our layers. Let's just quick get these dimensionals on. Let's do this one too while I have it. I'm going to put it right back in my container so I know where they are. As we know, if it was a snake, it would bite me when it's on top of my craft table. Okay, so that. So there we go. Nice, quick, and easy layers. Now we can decorate these layers. And I'm going to show you a little trick. These are actually the stickers from the Most Wonderful Time Medley set. And so I did use one of the trees. So let's just grab that right now. And like I said, they're stickers. So we're just going to stick this tree right there. And then let me just turn this around so you can see. It's blurry, sorry. Yeah, I got a Roomba. The cats would go crazy. I did use one of the deer. So for the deer, we can grab any of these. I like the ones with the antlers. Now it's a sticker. And I do have this deer popped up. So let me just grab a dirty piece of paper here. What I did was I took some of my talcum powder, put some talcum powder on my finger, and I am just going to run a layer of talcum powder over the back of this deer to take away the stickiness. So all the adhesive on the back is gone. Now while I have this powder here, I want to just take out, I also used one of the labels or the banners. I'm going to just do the same thing for this one while I have the powder out so I can dump it in the garbage. So then it's ready. Okay. And that should be it. So that's just a little trick when you want to use a sticker, but you want to pop it up. Just use some talcum powder, and it takes away that stickiness. Your dimensionals stick to it because you're just putting a layer on it. So we're just gonna stick this deer right here next to the tree. And while we're doing this section, just going to, let's use the scissors. Grab the stars, and I believe this is also from the Most Wonderful Time medley. Whoops. We'll stick a star right on top of this tree. Just like that. Now I do have the snowflake adhesive back snowflakes also, but we'll do that at the end. So getting back to the tag, we'll go to the next square. I'm just going to quick, and I'm going to grab the to and from. It's from the snowman season, and it's got the little to and from. And what I did is I took smoky slate, and all I'm going to do, let me just grab another piece of scrap paper. Okay. I'm just going to add some of this ink to the to, because if you can see on my tag, I have to and from. So I'm just going to stamp the to right there, and then ink up the from, and put my, whoops, let me get that F. Make sure the F is done. And stamp my from right there. Okay. And then again, we're going to pop this up. And I do have, again, some snowflakes on that side. But I just wanted to add a few little things to each square just to make it look unique. So then I die cut. Let's see if I have all my stars right here. I die cut a few stars, and I did one, and this is in Whisper White, but after I die cut it, actually before I die cut it, I had painted it with the Frost White paint that's in the catalog, and then I die cut it. So it just gives it a little bit of a shimmer. And taking one of the little, let me just grab my, oops, the little dimensionals. I'm just looking, my glue dots gave way, so just fixing my lid here. Crazy glue. Alright, we'll use this. Using one of the little dimensionals, we're just going to put it on the back of this snowflake. And like I said, I wanted to pop it up. And that's going to be my first layer. Just like that. And then for the gold, and this is not the right gold one, I don't think. Here it is. Then I did one in gold. And this one we are going to use a glue dot. And again, right in the center. And I'm just going to offset it, set it a bit. And then grabbing one of the pearls, put a pearl right in the center. I don't know what I did with my picky tool. That I didn't put in my box. So now we're going to go to the the fourth square. Can't even count. So let me just grab a scrap of paper. I've been trying to use up all my scraps. Here we go. This is a good one. I've been doing really good, Nan. You would be very proud. I've been getting all my scraps taken care of. Now I already cut out his hat. And I cut out his little arms. But we're just going to grab the smoky slate again, ink them up, stamp them, and before I punch them out, I grabbed this black Stampin' Up marker, and right along the left side of his buttons, I just put a detail line just to give it a little bit of a shadow. And then I grabbed the same pumpkin pie, the dark, and it's the dark under his nose, gave it a little darkness. And then the So Saffron, I filled in the top, just to give him a little bit of color. While I have the black marker, I actually cut his hat out of the Halloween paper, and I think I have to run a piece of foil through my punch, so it left white lines around the hat. So just using the brush end, and this happened on the original too, I'm just going to color the edges. This way it takes away that white, because it'll stand out. As crazy as it sounds, that'll be the first thing that attracts your eye. And then I just have a little sliver of red, and before we punch anything out, I'm just going to run a little bit of glue and give him a red line on his hat. So we can give that a few minutes to dry. It's just a little crooked, but well, that's okay. And then we're going to grab our punch, line them up. As best you can. And give them a good punch. Now before I add them on, I'm just going to put a little dab of glue to sit his arms on. And you'll notice when you make your punches, there actually is a right side and a wrong side. Just give him a little bit of glue on his head. We'll stick his hat down. There we go. Give his little red band a trim. And add his little hat. Now we're going to pop him up on this side. So let's grab the dimensionals. He's still a little wet, so he's not completely dry, so I just want to be a little careful. Hey, Peggy. You fell asleep. Oh, I wish I could. I've had such sleepless nights lately. It's driving me nuts. I'm tired when I go to bed, and then I get in bed and I'm wide awake. It's horrible. I don't know what it is. Okay, so that is our first layer. So while we have that finished, let's just jump to the lid. And all it is, let me just see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1/8 by 5 1/8. And I scored it at 1 inch on each side. And we're going to do a quick and easy lid. And while we have it and it's nice and flat, let's see. Oh, where's that white layer? We're just going to put a layer of white. Oh, here it is. I actually have white. I gotta change my blades. And the DSP. And these, all I did was use some glue. I didn't add any dimensions, so we're just gonna glue these down. Makes it a little easier. When it's already nice and flat. I'm going to use the polka dots on the lid. Just like that. Okay. Now let's make our lid. All I did was cut the corner and cut down one side. Cut the corner and then cut down one side. It just makes it so much easier. As you can see, I started to score it in the wrong spot. So this will be our lid. You want to make sure you get glue right to the score line. This way it doesn't pull apart. Just give this a few minutes. Make sure it really sticks. Now you know if you use some glue and you put glue to, excuse me, like if I was to put glue to the underside and let it dry a little bit, that it works the same as if you use Terran tape. That's how great this glue is. So we're just going to fold in our edges, making sure they're nice and straight. We're going to do it to each corner, making sure it gets adhered. The glue is got to dry a little bit, so I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes. Okay. And then for the top, we're going to leave right now. We'll do that before we close it all up because I want it to really dry. So let's put that aside. Now, let's do the inside. This was really cute. This is really fun. Now, I did the same thing for the inside layer. I cut and scored 2 pieces. Then I used the layering square die, and it is actually the 2.5-inch one. And I die cut 4 squares. And then I also have layers because, as you can see, I did put layers on the outside of the box. So I have my layers for that. As I said, lots of little pieces. And then I have the layers for the inside. And again, I rounded the corners. Just make sure I have everything here. 2, 3, 4. And then I have my snowmen. So I have 2 snowmen. We're just going to quick trim his corners. A little bit of sparkles, glitter. And then I did do one of the Let It Snow, just so I don't have to make you watch. But I do have the second one. So taking the snow, and I believe this is from, I think it's still from the Merry Christmas. Yes, it is. The Snowman Season. And believe it or not, I'm using mint macaron. Gonna clear out some of this. And using the snowflakes, I just inked it up, added my snowflake. I turned the stamp around so I could just fill in some of the space. Just like that. Then using the snowflakes, and let's see what I did with them. Oh, here they are. Using the mint macaron again, I just put some snowflakes in each corner. And it's still the snowman season. Stamp set for the snowflakes. And then I took, let me just grab this. I gotta wash my blocks again. The Let It Snow from the snowman season and Balmy Blue. You know, do you remember last year Stampin' Up had the gold stamp pad? I still cannot get the gold off. So between the snowflakes that I did in the corners, I'm just going to do a quick Let It Snow. So we're going to layer these up. I have my little mint macaron. And then we're going to add these layers. And we're just going to, let's do the snail. It might be a little quicker. My glue is, I should have pulled out another glue. So we're just going to layer these up. And I'll show you how I did the inside box. Okay, that's 3. What happened to the other snowman? See how things, oops, see how that happened? My little snowman, my other snowman just decided to leave me. Just like that. Maybe it's in this pile. Nope. That is so crazy. Every single time that happens. Okay, who saw it disappear? Oh, check it out. There he is. He fell on the floor. Didn't even see him fall. Okay, so there's my layers. We're running, yep. That you had, oh, okay, that's a good idea, Nan. Hey, Mike, how are you? Yeah, I found it, Ruth. He fell on the floor. Okay, so now let's do the center. My center is 1, 2, 2.5 by 1, 2, 2.5 by 3.5. And I scored it, as you can see again, I scored it in the wrong spot at first, at 1/2 inch. So this one, we're going to make sure I do the right one. And I just needed this little edge as like a little gate, because I wanted to make sure that when I did the inside layer, that this seam wouldn't really be all that noticeable. So let's just glue this down. Make sure we get it in the right spot. Again, folding it, making sure that all your edges come up straight. Okay, just like that. And for the outside layers, I know, craziness, but that's what I do. I love my layers. That's a little bit bigger. So I have my 4 layers, my 4 scallop squares, and then I have my 4 papers, designer series paper. So I'm just going to layer these up, and this is for the outside of this box. Well, let's do it this way, because I want it decorated just like we decorated the outside of the big box. I wanted the outside of the center box also to be decorated. So when the lid is on and it's all closed up, it's still a pretty box on the the outside of that box is still pretty. Okay, I should have really done this ahead of time, but I figured I'd do that a lot, so I'd take you through the whole project. And I love using the glue because it just, for some reason, makes it quicker. If you make a mistake or you lay your layers down and they're not straight, it just gives you an extra couple seconds to move them and adjust them. Uh-oh. I think it just ran out. Oh no, a little bit more. So I think, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Maybe I'll do it on my own and then post the video because it doesn't seem to come out clear when I do it on Facebook. I guess I'll just have to do my TV channel and then it'll be clear. But I got some of the new products, and I also got the little mini cut and emboss machine. I didn't even take it out of the box yet. So I figured I'll do it while I video it so you can see. But it came in a really nice box. Can't wait to see the new products. Okay, so now we have the outside of the box and we have the inside of the box. So these pieces, and I'm going to do it while it's standing on the desk, but we're going to add some glue, and we're going to use the glue because I want to be able, let me see if I have a glue available here. No, I don't see it. Oh, here's one. Okay. Let me just open this real quick. Then I don't have to fight with that glue. Okay. So we're just going to add our glue, and I want the glue because I want to be able to maneuver this layer. Now remember, this is the outside of the box because this is going to, oops, this is going to sit in the middle. So I want to take one of my outside layers and it's going to go on the outside of the box. So these are the sides of my box, but I want to make sure that it is equal and layered flat, and when I have my layer down on my table, that the sides are also touching the table. So like I said, when I put this layer on, you can see I put a lot of glue, but you can also see that there's a seam, and I wanted to make sure that I got that seam covered. That's where the next layer came in. So let's just finish with the rest of the sides. I'll try not to get so much glue this time. And we're going to do it to all 4 sides. Yes, I do have a coloring tutorial. I've been doing it, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Um, Usually on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, depending on what my day is like. I've been doing a coloring with blends tutorial. Um, I think I did the cardinal this week, and then a few weeks ago I did this flower and showed how to get the depth in the flowers. Um, but that's what I'm going to be doing on my YouTube channel. I do post my, Thursday video, and hope I'm going to check tomorrow to see how the quality is, because it may be Facebook that's doing it. Um, but I usually do my Thursday night video and I post that on my YouTube channel. And then, like I said, I do an additional video either Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and I'm trying to do it with coloring. And I'm using Stampin' Blends. I may even do some Copic coloring. So that's the added that I do in videos. Because I find it fun. I like, oops, I added glue. I wasn't supposed to. Um, I love coloring. I've been coloring for years. And, sometimes I've been certified in Copic. I'm certified in Spectrum Noir. And it's just basically the same premise, even coloring with blends. So I figured I'd just share my knowledge. I was going to do it as a class. I even started, I have it like 3/4 of the way done, but then I decided I'd just do it as a tutorial on my YouTube channel. Okay, so as you saw, I did add glue to this layer, but I really did want to pop it up. So we're going to pop up the inside layers. And now we have the outside layer and the inside layer. And we're just going to alternate our Let It Snow, because it covers, like I said, this layer. I wanted it to be decorative, but I also wanted it to cover this seam. And we're going to add our little snowmen. Lots of dimensionals on this project. So we'll put this little guy here. And I think actually the link to the YouTube video for the cardinal is in the group. Yeah, I'm busy every day, Peggy. It keeps me sane. Although sometimes I wish I didn't have so much to do. But if I didn't, I probably would be crazy. So, okay. So here's our first layer, inside it out. Here's our second layer, inside and out. And all I'm going to do is add some glue. And I am just going to set this in the center. Now I want to make sure that it's pretty centered on each side. And again, you have a little bit of wiggle room. And that looks good. We're just going to let that dry for a few minutes. Just like that. And as crazy as this sounds, I grabbed a piece of tissue paper from one of the paper pumpkin kits and folded in the ends a little bit. This is actually Fabri-Tac. I'm trying to use up all my stuff that's almost empty so I can get new. But I just added some glue and took my, how crazy is that, tissue paper and just added it to the center so it makes a little nest for the lip gloss. And then it looks like a big pile of snow in the center also. And it actually holds it in place a little bit so it doesn't roll around. Alright, so let's get to our lid. And let's see. Is it this one? No. Look at that. Another piece I forgot. Alright, hold on. Let me get this one. 2 3/4. I thought I was being so good today, cutting everything, and I still forgot. Okay, so this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and all I actually did, we're going to make this lid the same. This is scored at a 1/2 inch. I just figured since this top is, you know, this box is a little smaller, that I would make the lip, the edge to this box, a little smaller. So we're just gonna fold these all over, get us a nice straight line. Look, I did my layers when I do with the other lid. Yep. Okay. So we're just going to, again, nice layers, lots of cutting. I'm sure I'll find all my pieces when I'm done. Okay. Now this one I actually did pop up onto the top of this box. And don't forget, don't throw away your edges. They're always good to cut up and use. You should have nothing left but a piece of paper when you're done. Use them completely. And we're just going to center this on the top of this lid. And we're going to create the lid the same exact way. We're just going to cut off the corner and cut up one edge. Cut off the corner. Now this one I think I will use the glue. We'll let the glue. Okay, I'm just going to make sure we get to the edge on each corner. Okay, I'll let that dry for a second. Let's grab our other snowflakes. I'm just going to let that set for a minute. Then this way, when I put the corners in, it'll latch on really well. Same thing with this. Poke out the centers. Then I do have the die. And I'll show you why I have the die. Okay, so we'll put this together. And this is our second lid. Hey Margaret, how are ya? Hope you're doing good. Okay, so we got our lid. My first layer of snowflakes. I'm going to use the gold. Just grab my snowflakes here. Pick up a little bit. Okay, so for the first snowflake, we're going to pop it up. And I'm using one of the mini dimensionals. So he's getting, this little guy is going to get popped up on the center. Then I have a little green, the mint macaron. And this one, I'm just going to use glue dot and stick him, offset it, so we can see the snowflake edges. And then I have the die, got a glue dot on my finger, because I actually, and I wish I knew where my pokey tool was, I actually cut another snowflake, and you really can't see it that well, but I know it's there. Let me just open this up so I can poke this out. I don't want to rip it because it's so, there we go, in vellum. So let's also stick this little guy with a glue dot in the center, and I'm offsetting this guy from the green. And then we're just going to take a little pearl and stick it right in the middle. And I think I can throw my pearls away. Okay. Now, like I said, oops, I'm using the adhesive back snowflakes. Let's grab this pokey tool. And all I did was put some random snowflakes, not on the snowmen, but on the snowflake one, the Let It Snow side. And these are still available. I don't think they won't be available past the, once this this old catalog stops in December, I don't think they'll be available anymore. Okay, so there's that box. And then this layer, oops, I grabbed a few. See if I can get them apart. Now they're sticking. Okay. I got two snowflakes stuck together. And I'm just doing them randomly, just to add a little sparkle. But they're not the easiest little guys. And even on the side of this tree, and this side right here. Adding random snowflakes. Okay. Now for the top, we'll go back to our top. And this is what I was doing before, because my glue dot gave away. Now it's sticking like crazy. And it's not, it's off-centered. All I did was I took the same ribbon from the Snowflake Splendor and cut two lengths. This way you don't have to enclose the whole box. And then grabbing a glue dot, try to center, make sure it's centered. Tuck it over. Hold it down for a few minutes. Do the same on the other side. Make sure it's tight. Okay. Now just so I get it and it stays centered, I'm just, oops, now I got two glue dots. Just gonna put a glue dot, they're sticky tonight, right there in the center, just so it'll hold it in place for me. Turn the box over. I think I have a, oh, it came off. I'm gonna do the same thing. Add a glue dot to each end of the ribbon. Oh, I just found it, it's on my thumb. And stick that side in. Usually the glue dots aren't that sticky. Tonight they're really sticky. Guess it's warm in here. Okay, just like that. And close it up. And then we're just going to tie a quick bow. Now, to be honest, I am not going to add the Merry Christmas because I really do not like how it looks. I would recommend using something different. I think it's just too big and bulky. I think something a little bit more delicate would be nicer for this box. So I'm not going to add that tag. And I'm probably going to remove that one and add something different. I'm just not that happy with it. Okay, so then I just have a little regular bow. Just make sure they're even. Cut off my little tails. And grab a glue dot. Right in the center. Wow, they really are sticky tonight. And there's your bow. So now we have two cute little boxes. Just like that. And like that. With a cute little surprise inside. Again, I apologize for the quality of the video. I'm not really too sure what's going on. Yeah, that's true, Peggy. It is a lot of work. I mean, you could, in all honesty, wouldn't have to go crazy with all the layers. But I just love layers because it just makes it look so, adds so much to it. But it's fun. It would be great if you had a child and a son and he was getting engaged. It would be a great box to put the engagement ring in, or, something that's really, really special. A really special gift would be really nice in a box like this. But it was fun. A lot of work, but it was well worth it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And like I said, head over onto my YouTube channel to see the new coloring video. I may be hopping on tomorrow with a reveal, but like I said, I will do it by myself and then I'll post the video. And let's see what the quality, and I'll be able to tell where my problem is, because I really do think it is this program. So have a great night, everybody, and an even better weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.